Hello, Chris.
Hiya.
So we've got this Budapest retreat coming up on the 31st of October, 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you going to be bringing to...
Well, I'm going to talk about the first day because it's quite a lot in the first day. So the first thing is we've got to set the scene, and the kind of analogy I've used is that it's like an empty filing cabinet. There are 7 things we're going to be exploring, and the filing cabinet is empty at the start. All we're going to be doing is create an opportunity to explore these 7 areas, and for people to be able to start putting things in these drawers so that they can go away and work on them later on their own.
Great.
But the first bit of that is to understand the importance of discipline and structure, because discipline is something that we probably don't like doing, but we know it is good for us. Mm-hmm. So we know we've got to do it.
Right.
But because it's hard, we make all sorts of excuses why we don't do it.
Yeah.
The second thing is having a structure which makes it easier for us to be able to do the things that we've said we're going to do. Mm-hmm. So it fits into our day properly, it's organised, and we make it less easy to stop. So that's why we need those 2 things.
Now that's interesting, I guess, because I know we can all read these books giving us tools and tips on how to become our better selves. Mm-hmm. But often we'll read it and not put it into practice. So
there's hundreds of books on the shelf that are either not read or read from cover to cover and never practiced.
Right, exactly. Okay. So where does that lead us on? How do we identify these changes, and how do we then put them?
Well, you're running a session which is about identifying where we might be weaker or we may want to improve. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing is to sort of explore why it is that we have these aspirations to be much better, but we don't actually ever deliver them. So why is it so hard for us to actually change? And quite often it's because the goal's out there and it's 3 years away, and we lose motivation on the way, and consequently we just say, oh, that's so far in the future, I'm not getting any reward.
Well, and also it pushes us out of our comfort zone.
Absolutely.
So it's a bit scary.
Yeah. So why is it so tough? That's really, and why is it so... Yeah, we've all said to other people, you should be doing that, you should be doing that, and we can't even do it for ourselves. That's how hard it is. Yeah.
Right. So. Okay. So how does this going to then pan out? What's the next step?
Well, the next step really is then to understand our engagement with other people and our relationships, and to work out what is triggering us. Because in order for us to change our change our destination, if you like, we have to start doing things differently. Yeah. It's no good saying that's what I've always done, that's what I've always done, that's how I am. We need to explore why we are who we are and where those behaviours originally came from. So when we start to see how, and you can reflect on all sorts of things, but if you look at what someone sends you a message, an email, or in a dialogue, and you're saying to yourself, they've got a cheek, they've got a nerve to be saying this or saying that. What we're telling ourselves is a story that may not reflect the actual reality, and we're making up a story that about what they might be doing, and actually that story's ours, not theirs. They haven't said that. They may not have that story, but we're now thinking, right, okay, well, I'm now going to do this and this based on our ending of a story. Filling in the gaps. So we're kind of our own storyteller. And actually understanding what we're doing in that is really powerful, because then we can say, well, now I'm aware of what I'm doing. Actually, that person didn't actually say that. We can observe what they really did and what they actually did. And then we can ask them, what did you mean?
Right.
Rather than assume.
I guess it's stopping ourselves in our tracks before we just react with
so that's really
a negative response.
Absolutely.
In most cases.
And that's really important. And then sort of towards the end of the day, we'll be looking at a bit more on relationships, and also how we get our energy, because we actually steal energy from other people in many different ways. Sometimes we get energy by bludgeoning other people over their head, and that's like the intimidator. Sometimes we get energy by actually forcing questions on other people, and just 20 questions, and we're just dragging them into our space. Other times we're aloof, so we're getting energy because we're not really we're not answering the questions.
Being a bit
Being a
mysterious.
bit mysterious. So we just like vague. vague news. And of course, someone who wants answers is going to keep on asking. So we're getting attention, which is energy. And then the last one is the poor me's, where they go around like saying, "Oh, feel sorry for me, feel sorry for me."
Yeah.
So you're keeping on like, "Oh, you're okay, you're all right," and we're getting their energy because we keep on looking miserable and playing out a victim mode.
Right.
So these are all ways we get energy, and it's different for different people, and we do it differently with different relationships. But understanding what we're doing and why we do that, because all of these things come from something that's made us. And it's very often our parents. If our parents,
something in our childhood, isn't it?
yeah. So if our parents are intimidators, we might suddenly be aloof because we get so many questions. We just think, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're a bit vague. We don't give the answer. Oh, you'll find out later." And we just become a bit. This is for me. This is that. I've done that.
Right.
And actually, you don't want to answer the question because while they're interested, we feel important.
Right. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, so all that's on the first day.
Okay, I think it's quite exciting to be able to explore this in ourselves. And I guess going back to when we were talking about at the beginning how difficult it is to change by discovering things about ourselves and why we behave in certain ways, then we can find out what and how needs to change.
I mean, when you ponder all of that stuff we've been talking about, it's no wonder it's difficult to change. Because we've never ever looked at it, we just think we can just change. Well, we can't.
Or it's someone else needs to change, not us.
Because we're not looking at ourselves.
We're blinded. Yeah.
And no one's changing.
Right. Okay. Great. Well, can't wait.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be fun.
Hope you'll join us.
Okay, yeah, come on the 31st.